Hello scholars, you're all welcome to e-learning in English courtesy of Robin Bell College, and the topic before us today is direct and indirect speech. To convey the spoken words of someone to another, you use either direct or indirect speech. Or for instance, if Mrs. Coker, your school principal, says she wants to meet your parents, and in informing your parents you want them to feel it exactly the way Mrs. Coker said it, you'll report to your parents in either of the following ways. A. Mrs. Coker said, I want to meet your parents. Or B. Mrs. Coker said that she wanted to meet my parents. These two ways are also used to narrate the spoken words of someone or a party. Suppose you meet your friend Shadi at Just Right. She says to you, I bought a book for you. When you get home, you may say the words of Shadi to your brother in either of the following ways. You could say, Shadi said, I bought a book for you. Or you could say, Shadi said that she had bought a book for me. So, can you suggest which statement in the above are direct and which one are indirect speech? Okay, you're right. So, in each of the examples, A is direct speech and B is indirect speech. So, Mrs. Coker said, I want to meet your parents is a direct speech. Mrs. Coker said that she wanted to meet my parents is an indirect speech. While Shadi said, I bought a book for you is a direct speech, and Shadi said that she had bought a book for me is an indirect speech. Okay, let's take a closer look at the direct speech now. Okay, the direct speech has two important components. They are reporting verb and reported speech. Reporting verb is the one on the first part that introduces the quoted statement. For instance, Mrs. Coker said, Shadi said, he says, they say, they asked, and so on. Reported speech is the actual words of the speaker that is enclosed in quotation marks. Example, he says, I want to become a doctor. Look at it. Says is reporting verb. And that statement in quotation mark, I want to become a doctor, is reported speech. The first and the second part can be rearranged as follows. Look at it. I want to become a doctor, he said. So, the reporting speech comes first, while the statement that has the reporting verb comes later. Another example is this. I bought a book for you, said Shadi. So, the reported speech comes early, while the reporting verb, the statement that has the reporting verb, comes later. Okay? There are a number of rules that are essential to the correct use of direct and indirect speech, and let me enumerate them. The first one is punctuation rules. Punctuation rules in indirect speech. The second one is correct use of tense. The third one is correct use of pronoun. The fourth one is correct use of adverb of time and adverb of place. And lastly, correct use of demonstrative pronouns and adjectives. Let's take it from the top. Punctuation rules in indirect speech. Firstly, when the reported speech comes first, a comma is placed after the last word, just before the closing quotation mark. Did you notice that in the previous examples? That's example 3 and 4. Look at it again. I want to become a doctor, he said. Notice the position of that comma just immediately after the last word in the reported speech, doctor. Look at another example. I bought a book for you, said Shade. There's a comma immediately after the last word of the reported speech, just before you enclose the quotation. Okay? The second punctuation rule that I will teach you is the reporting verb is followed by a comma whenever it comes first in the sentence. Example, he said, I want to become a doctor. Look at the positioning of that comma after the reporting verb. He said, comma, then open a quotation. I want to become a doctor. Full stop. Close the quotation. Look at another example. Mrs. Coker said, I want to meet your parents. Immediately after the reporting verb, there's a comma. Then open the quotation, put the reported speech, full stop, then close the quotation mark. The third punctuation rule. A comma is not required if the reported speech is a question or an exclamation. For instance, can you spell your name? Asked the teacher. Can you spell your name is a statement, is an interrogative statement that attracts a question mark. You do not need to add a comma to that. That question mark suffices. Look at another example. I made it, screamed Olu on citing his result. I made it, screamed by Olu, is an emotional statement of excitement, and it attracts an exclamation mark. So you do not need to add a comma to it. Okay? The fourth punctuation rule about direct speech is that reported speech always starts with a capital letter, whether it comes first or last in the sentence. Example, the pupils said, we are tired of staying at home. Look at that. We are tired of staying at home. Being the reported speech starts with a capital letter. It starts with a capital letter. Another example, can you spell your name? Asked the teacher. Can you spell your name? Being the reported speech starts with a capital letter. So whether the reported speech comes first or last, it always starts with a capital letter. Okay? Let me test your knowledge on what I've taught you so far by giving you the following exercise. So I call it exercise 1, and I require you to insert the correct punctuation in the following direct speeches. Okay? Number 1, Betty says, I am not interested in football. Number 2, we asked James, are these your clothes? Number 3, she says to me, I need your notebook now, please. Number 4, I played for Manchester United, said Cristiano. Number 5, our president is busy, said Mustafa. And lastly, 6, you said the community will support me. Okay? Next e-lesson, I will be teaching you guidelines for converting between direct and indirect speeches. And we will also mark exercise 1 in the video. Ensure you do the exercise now. Meanwhile, you can get a full transcript of this lesson on the website that's showing on your screen. What else? You can ask your question. Ask me any question you want to via my WhatsApp, and my WhatsApp line is showing on your screen. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.